It is 5:30 on a Friday afternoon, and you have to deploy a small but urgent fix to the front end of your application. To do this, you must deploy the entire code base. There are about 50,000 unit and integration tests, so the build is likely to take several hours, or maybe the whole day. Finally, when you thought that you are nearly there, you receive a message from the navigation team to tell you that the commit they pushed last week to include dark mode hasn't been approved by the product manager. So you have to roll back the entire deployment process. By this point, you just want to go home and switch careers. If you have been in this situation, you might benefit from a paradigm switch. Enter micro-frontends. So how did we get here? Let's start by looking at the evolution of web development. Initially, our applications were built as a huge monolith, backend and frontend bundled together. But then, we split the backend and our frontend started consuming services via APIs. The backend team got clever and they started splitting their applications into microservices. Back in the front end, we created the concept of components and added some reusability. But why did we stop there? Let's enter the next generation in front-end architecture: microservices for the front end. So, what are micro-frontends? The micro-frontend architecture is a new design paradigm that allows you to split the front-end monolith into small and independent user experiences. These experiences have their own repository, their own CI/CD pipeline, and can be tested and deployed independently. So here are some of the benefits. Independent deployments means that there is an inherited reduced risk, since you are only deploying what you need instead of the entire application. And you know the rule: if it's not broken, do not try to fix it. You can also deploy fixes to production quicker by avoiding dependencies on other parts of the code. You also get simplified testing because you get defined boundaries and ensure the individual modules are doing what they are meant to do and do it well. These experiences can be built by independent teams. Independent teams have full ownership to deliver the product end to end, and because of their autonomy, they avoid dependencies and interference from other teams. All of this results in an increased velocity and faster time to market. Another benefit is decoupled codebases that improve the developer experience and productivity. A reduced scope helps developers to understand the code better instead of being overwhelmed by a huge codebase. This also prevents accidental coupling, since you are only interacting with specific parts of the code and there is a boundary that stops you from connecting components that should not know about each other. Finally, one of the most important benefits of the micro-frontend pattern is reusability. Because these user experiences are independent and encapsulated, they can be easily reused. Similar to the reusability of components, entire experiences can be shared and reused, not only inside our application, but other teams looking for the same functionality. So why to reinvent the wheel, right? Now let's talk about the trade-offs. Are you a lone developer with a very small project? The micro-frontend pattern might not be right for you. As with microservices, you will encounter an increased number of moving parts which have to be managed and configured. But this increase in complexity is already part of the inherited issues that come with scaling. Because the micro-frontend architecture is a new paradigm, you might need a mentality change and training, as well as the addition of new tools that allow you to stick all the pieces together. In conclusion, As your application starts to scale and you start adding more developers and create new teams, it might be the right time to break the front-end monolith and give your teams the autonomy they need to deliver features faster to your users.